Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's me, your favorite YouTuber. Um, I will probably not speak until I see at least one viewer. Don't know why. I just think it's better to speak to someone than to myself, even for the recording purposes. So how are you? How are you? Doing fine? What time is it on your side? It's 6 in Poland. Okay, we have one viewer. No. Oh, come on. I'm not that ugly. Come on, dear viewer. Come back. Don't leave me. Oh, finally, one viewer. Stay longer. Okay, so we started. It's 6:02. It's another stream for Hacktoberfest participants that we're doing here at Async API. You have 1 hour to ask any questions about the issues that we offered for the Hacktoberfest. The list to issues, I'm going to paste it in the comment section. Uno momento, per favor. So I just sent you a link to a spreadsheet that contains the list of all the issues that we prepared for for the Hacktoberfest. So you can, during this hour, you can ask for more explanation about some particular issue. And if you want, we can even do some pair programming. You can join me here to the stream or not, or just stay in the comment section and ask me questions. Okay. So it's like 10 days left until the end of Hacktoberfest. I'm going to send you a link to the status update of our participation. So basically, we closed and merged already 59 pull requests submitted for the Hacktoberfest, which is fucking amazing, basically. And we had like 24 different contributors involved, which is awesome. And I started inquiring them, like how they got here to Async API to do those contributions, and looks like most of people came through Discord channel. Because there's a Discord channel for Hacktoberfest participants, the official Discord channel of prepared by DigitalOcean, I guess, where, and you have it's not channel, I'm not sure really, like Discord profile. How do you call it? Like with Slack, you have workspaces. How does it work with Discord? Let me check. I think that's a really important information. I think it's probably written on the Hacktoberfest page. How do they advertise it? Come on. FAQ, maybe it's in FAQ. What? Discord server. Oh, so it's called not Workspace, but it's Discord server. Okay, so DigitalOcean organized a Discord server dedicated for Hacktoberfest, and there's a channel where you can promote your project. So that's a place where I go once a week to put links to Async API, and that's how people get here, which is interesting. And most of them, they're happy with the spreadsheet that we prepared, which is also cool. So who is there, this one person watching? Can you write something in the comments? I see you're on Twitch. So for your information, it's you, man. Hey, man. Antoinette, is it correct how I'm pronouncing it? I was practicing a bit. Antoinette? Perfect. My Spanish is getting better. Okay, so once you're here and nobody else is here asking for Hacktoberfest issues, I saw there's a new issue in HTML templates that might be interesting for you if you want. So there is an issue in HTML template that I think you, Antoinette, would be interested with. You are working, like you're in job, like in work. Like working, like your job working, or what do you mean by working? You're at office? Job learning code. Ah, bootcamp, right? Ah, okay, awesome. Cool. So I will. So I see comments from Antoinette, and I see this guy from Extremadura from Badio. I will not let you in before I try to say it. Badjos. Hey, he showed a finger, by the way. You could not see it, but I saw he's in his like midget window. He showed me a finger, and again, gotcha.
So what's up? All good?
Yeah, we're supposed to be serious.
Okay.
I can't. Sorry. I would just have to quit. Cheers.
I can't.
You can't what?
That's a joke. You know, can't.
Ah, this can't, like the British one.
Yeah. I remember seeing a T-shirt with this joke. Something. It was something else. I can't. Something. I can't remember.
Yeah. So, and I had it in the morning.
That's my second morning.
You had it,
You know that
so it's second time you have it, or what do you mean?
it's my second
Or-
morning. Now
You mean like you just woke up?
This time of the day, no, not really, but this time of the day is the second morning for Spanish people because we're sleeping, we have breakfast, we work, we eat, we sleep, we have breakfast again, we work, and then we have dinner, the usual, and we go to sleep again. So we split the day in two. So this
So
is
you
my
mean
second.
siesta?
This is my exactly. So this is my second breakfast, but I haven't had siesta today, so I'm just used to it.
Actually, I today talked with my Karinka, and we have an agreement that we will eat this crap now every morning because it's healthy. This crap, like I don't know, it's oats with rancine and something, right? Morels.
Well, actually, no, it's actually what's it called? Fuck.
Raisins.
Cereals. So it's a mix of cereals and I'm assuming that cereals is correct, but maybe it's a false frame. Fruit, dried fruit as well.
Yeah,
Yogurt.
raisins. So it's dry fruit, like dry grapes, right?
Not the grapes. It's actually apple. So.
Oh, dry apple.
Dry apple. Some can't remember the name of this shit. Sorry. So this. So the thing is that I'm very used to speaking English tech. Then when it comes to food English, I have no idea. So I don't know the names. Sorry. It's
What's the color?
The color. I mean, now it's mixed, so it's a little bit strange.
Yeah, so it's oats, this white stuff. Is it banana?
No. It's dried
apricot?
fruit.
Is it apricot?
Maybe, I don't know. Don't know the name.
Figa, fuck. I know.
And then it's not figa. No, it's not ego. It's not.
Okay.
It's not this. I know what you mean. In even if it's in Polish, because figos or figa, figos are the name in Portuguese. So of this fruit, don't remember. So I know what you mean by figa. That's why.
It's super hard to get those in Poland, like fresh ones. They're usually dry.
And this is from Lidl, and this is coming from Germany.
You have Lidl in Spain?
Of course, it's full of
Fuck,
Lidls.
they're everywhere.
Yeah. So it's probably from Germany.
Yeah, it's German. Like, they have to be everywhere.
Yeah, so Polish, figa, fig, ego, yeah. It's not fig. It's not figa. It's not fig. It's look at the name.
You don't even know in Spanish?
I can't think in Spanish now. It happens all the time to me. When I'm speaking in English, I'm not able to think in Spanish again. Birdseed with yogurt. That's about right. It's actually not
still
bird
healthy.
seed. It's bird food, right? I guess. I don't know. It would be strange if I eat bird seeds. It would be strange if they exist, actually. You can go on. I'm gonna mute, otherwise you're gonna hear me chew a lot.
Yeah. Mute. Okay, so some coding. So Franito, please, because I don't have 2 monitors yet. By the way, I'm thinking about adapting an attic to get a few square meters of my place of like my personal space to get a desk where I can have monitors, because I really that's the only thing I'm missing from SAP that I had a desk and I had 3 monitors. That's the only one. That's the only thing.
What do you want me to share?
No,
Something?
I want you to just tell me whenever there are some questions from the comment
Oh,
section.
okay. I'll be
Because
here
when I'm
helping.
sharing, I can. What?
You know, like in the TV shows, I am the person. Um, you know, like we got a new question from the audience.
I'm not sure what kind of shows you have there in Spain.
You know, the usual ones, the bad ones, the things that you can find on TV.
Okay, share screen. So Antoinette, that's I'm gonna talk about the issue that is it's not on the list of Oktoberfest issues because it was raised, I think, on Monday. But it still can be done. I think it's easier than the one that you completed today. So if you want, you can pick it up as well. Let me share. Where is it? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So, long story short, the request is to have in HTML and HTML template another parameter that would be called version, and whatever value you put here, it should override the version that we render in the template that we take from Async API file. So let me show you the playground, what I mean.
I'm curious. Why is this useful? Or how is this useful? Like,
yeah, so it's useful because how they generate. So it's described here is some Java thingy, etc. So basically, Ludovic explained that it's much easier for them would be to just override it rather than have some hacks that override it in the file. And at the end, because
sounds like a huge bad practice to me, but
so for me it also sounds strange. That's why I first asked what's the point of it. But we anyway do not enforce any format for the version, and that would be a parameter anyway. So that would be something ultimate.
Yeah, I'm worrying if we're encouraging people to do these kind of tricks instead of telling them that they should be updating the version on the file, on this API file. Because if you think about it, the idea behind the version is that you can. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to use this kind of semantic versioning, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can use whatever kind of versioning you want. You can probably have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, or preview, final, whatever. You can use whatever you want there. So if they don't want to be increasing this number very often, something they can do is just use a word like this is draft, preview, final version, whatever, and or draft, preview 1 through 2, 3, 4, 5. That could be the version, and so I don't get why the versioning is a problem and why we will want to encourage people by having a parameter specifically for that to do it, right? Because then it's to me it sounds like, I mean, it's okay, and I understand that there could be a point here, or a use case for them, whatever. The thing is that looks to me that we will be like kind of somehow recommending people or showing people that this is a good practice or something that you should be doing or you could be doing, and it's fine, right? And I don't think it's fine, because it sounds to me that they have the async API file in a single pipeline and they use it, for instance, to generate documentation, as an example. But tomorrow they want to feed this async API file to another system, and not documentation, but for instance, async API hub or something like the proxy or something like this, and then what? You have a version on the documentation that doesn't correspond to the version on the other system. So you know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? So sounds like you're tricking it. And if you want to do it, you can always, if you want to do it yourself for your specific use case, that's fine. You can use a bash command, something like please find I don't know, a bash command that will find the version on your async API file and will replace it, and then input this file input the result to the async API generator, right? So we don't have to provide this functionality, right? Because it's only for your specific use case, right? So I don't know. It sounds like. Can you paste the link to the issue so I can have a look at it as well? Because it really looks weird to me.
You cannot see my screen?
Yeah, but I cannot read it well. It's just too small, and also would love to have the link so I can
sure
comment.
So basically the approach here is, it's not about having different version. It's just about it's like with Node. You keep versioning in the package JSON. With Java, it's in POM file. So damn it, again this infinite loop. Let me paste. So it's not about encouraging to have different versions, different in the application and different in the file. It's just about making it much easier to pass the version in the command line. And not sure if we should. I mean, that one thing is the file. The second, the async API file. The second is the tooling. I always think that tooling is to make things easier and not to enforce any best or bad practices, because like best practices, it's always pretty subjective. And especially if it's as simple as just having an additional parameter in the template. I didn't check it yet, but I think it's like super tiny change in the template, and it just makes stuff easier. It's like with React component, that would be the same. So you have a prop for version, and if you don't provide it, we take it from the file, but you can always specify different for the component in the props, just to make your life easier, I think. So looking on the description, I don't think it's super specific for one user, because usually you do versioning of your application, as I said, like in Java it's POM, with different languages, it's different. And then everyone would have to come up with a solution like to always bump automatically version also in the Async API file. So yeah, adding a simple flag, I think it's pretty fine.
So I'm reading and I was listening as well. So as I'm reading the thing, I think there's a confusion here. So the info version is not the version of your application. It's the version of your API, of your interface, right? It shouldn't be changing with every change you make on your code. It should only change when you change the interface, right? Like for instance, you change the message, or you change the schema, or you add a new channel, or remove a channel, or whatever. You know what I mean? So if you have new versions of your code behind the scenes doing something, this is not the version. This is not the version of the info object, right? So the version on the info object is about the interface, not the application. So we're talking about. I think he's trying to use info.version for application version, and it's not the same. And that's why he's having conflicts. Like, hey, I don't want to be changing this very often, right? That's why he's referring to palm.xml, and you were saying like package.json, all this stuff. Package.json version is one thing. Async API version is another thing. Async API version is info version is about your interface. It's not about your application. Your application can be on version 100 and you still on version 1 of your API, right? Because you created the API and interface and it didn't change, but the code handling these messages is continually changing or whatever, or doing whatever stuff. You know what I mean? So I think that's the confusion here. That maybe when you see the version on the documentation on the HTML template, it will somehow say that this is the version of the API, not the version of your application, right? In this case, yes, we can have something like a parameter for version, or even better, we can have an attribute, an extension, right? Like x-dash application version, right? We can have something like this. We can have both. This version parameter can override this extension parameter, this extension application version. But maybe it's been misunderstood because we're not explaining it well enough, that the info.version attribute is not really for the application version, right? And it's probably very visible on the top of the HTML template, like is Streetlights 1.0, right? And sounds like this is the version of your application. That's correct. Maybe it should be like Streetlight, the version that you pass on a param or something, and then below can be something like interface version, blah blah blah, the number from info version, right? You know what I mean? That will make more sense, maybe. That makes me think that I don't know if the info.version attribute makes sense at all. It does, because at some point you will want to have like version management for your documents, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll keep discussing on the issue. I gotta jump now to a meeting. So as I promised, I was going to be only until 6:30, even though I arrived late. So so I'll leave you here alone again. Antune, take care. Everyone watching, take care of Lucas and be safe yourselves. He's crazy.
Bye.
Bye.
Okie dokie, so I'm alone again. Not alone, but alone with my face. So going back to the codings. So let's see if that's if this issue we talked about is it's not that clear. So let's see if there's some other issue we could work on. So maybe let's have a look on this issue. Let me share my screen. Okay, so there's another issue from Ludovic. It's about supporting display of correlation ID. Correlation ID, some background. It's part of the message. Not. Message. Oh, here. So the message, when you describe the message that goes into the channel, except of headers, payload, you can also provide the correlation ID. And the problem is that we know, I mean, you can add it to the document, but we don't support it in the HTML template, so we don't render it in the UI. And there's a use case for it. And Ludovic said that he wants to give it a try. So let me just help and understand how to add it. So we know we agreed already how it should be displayed. We have the HTML, like hard-coded HTML, how it looks like. And now it's just about, yeah, coding it into the template. Let's open Playground again. So basically, whenever you have payload, above payload, we want to have information about correlation ID. Let's go to HTML template code. Let's make it bigger a bit. Okay. Yeah, it's message, of course. Okay. So here you can see in the message HTML partial, the location where we render the payload and the headers. Message tags as well. Let's see. You know what? I'm gonna render the dummy example. HTTPS. What? What? Doesn't support redirects? Bastard. Okay. Okay, and now I forgot. Now I just remember. Give me uno momento. I need to turn on music. Would it be possible for another live, an example of really real use of Async API? So could you, so Antoinette, could you elaborate a bit more? Like, what do you mean by real use? Like, you would like to see how to create a file from scratch, or what really? Like, what real use you'd like to see? What if you could try to specify? You could. Okay, so you'd like to see how come the file is useful, and what I can like use it for, that I can actually generate application, and then this application kind of responds to events or send events. That's, I don't see a problem. I can prepare something for next Tuesday, because we already have an example of Streetlight. We have Node.js template where we can generate application from Async API file. We have a like tutorial that guides you step by step how to do it, so I can do it and explain. Not a big deal. Okay, you have it on Tuesday. Okay, so music. And Antoinette, would be awesome if you could confirm. I'm gonna ask you, and just confirm if you can hear the music. Can you hear the music? Okay, let's. How about now? Because I don't want to make it too loud to not disturb. So it's good? Okay, cool. So, screen sharing again. So back into business. So it's about adding support for correlation ID. So I'm in the message, and yeah, I was checking now. I wanted to check how tags are rendered. I don't remember. So let's take a look into the playground. Let's find some message. Okay, so we definitely should put the correlation ID in between tags and in between the payload. So the correlation ID should go basically here. And luckily we have HTML ready. So now let's just save it hard-coded and let's generate something. Do we actually have correlation and ID in the dummy example? We don't have a correlation ID in the example. Sucks. Okay, but we can add it, it's not a problem. The only thing is that I cannot use this dummy example. I have to just copy it locally. So let us create a, not here. Let's create a file. Okay. Let's find a message. So we have a channel. It's a publish operation. Message. Let's take a look on the dummy created message. Okay, no correlation ID. So let's just add one. Description is a dummy ID. Location, and let's just copy this from the official example. That's fine, but because we say that it's in the message header, in correlation ID header, then it would be good practice to, yeah, write it here. Looks good. I will not add description because it's not important now. So looks good. Looks like we have a good sample data. Data, whatever. Dummy Jamal. I'm doing // so the generator picks up sources from my current directory. Let's save it into the output and force right, because it's, yeah, Git repo. Okay, open output index HTML. Okay, so far so good. Of course, as you can see, we don't have values that I've put into the async API file. So I need to, of course, now make sure that there are no hard-coded values, but values taken from the async API document. Okay, so this value that's hard-coded, that's fine. And this should be taken from the async API spec. Okay, so it's in the context, a bit of highlights. So whenever message macro is called in the template, it gets into the context a message, a particular message. So I can access its content by invoking a specific helper method. So let me just show you how do I know, like, how do I know how to call it, right? So let's go to the parser, because async API generator, before it consumes your template, like HTML template, it parses the async API file that you passed into the generator. It's parsed, and then the parser in return gives you a lot of helpers to access the contents of async API file. So you basically, when you get a JSON, you don't have to do like value to access some data, but you get functions to do it. And all the models, oh, actually, I'm not gonna force you to read the source code. We have API docs, right? So let's see. For the message, wait, channel. Where are the message functions? Okay, because message, you can also have a message trait. So we have like a message traitable model with functions that are available for the message and message trait, and you can see correlation ID. Okay, so the correlation ID function returns a correlation ID object. And then wait. Correlation ID. Okay, and then this object, like correlation ID object, has another set of helper functions. So we can access the location or the description, right? But now I really prefer reading the source code. So let's go to the message again. Of course, message traitable correlation ID. So you can see that if there is no correlation ID provided in your document, we're going to return null. So if we do correlation ID, that this will return something, right? Let me maybe show you how to log it out to the console. So let us now in the template get the correlation ID value, but not do anything with it, but just put it into the logs. Okay, so you can see that in two messages, actually the correlation ID was logged, but when the correlation ID was not present, you got null. And now you can basically do something like this and access, for example, the location. And with location, that's a required field. So we don't have to check if location was provided or not to make sure that everything is rendered properly. Because if somebody did not provide location in the file, the parser will anyway block the generation because parsing will fail. So we can access location like this, but we're gonna get an error. Look. Oh, okay, I didn't save my changes. Again, we should get an error. Perfect. Why we got error? It's because we assume that correlation ID is always there, and then we access its location. But as you could see, one message did not have the correlation ID, and therefore, when I tried to access the location value of undefined, I got an error. So the thing is that this new snippet responsible for rendering correlation ID, it should be used only if correlation ID is provided. So we're closing it into the if statement. Like that's how you do it with Nanjak. So basically, if correlation ID, have a look now. Okay, no errors, and because we have like two messages, like it's one message in two different channels, but then you can see it's processed twice because it's used in two channels, and you can see that without errors we could log out the location, which is pretty cool. Now let's just make it like ident. So whenever there is a message correlation ID provided, that's awesome. But I mean, I don't like that we have this, and again this same stuff here twice. So I prefer to use some feature of Nanjaks that is for setting variables. So set correlation ID. Let's put it here, and therefore now it should be much better. And let us not log it out anymore, but let's just render it and see if it's going to be visible. No errors. Let's see the output. Oh yeah. So you can see a proper correlation ID is rendered. It's now just a matter of handling the description. Now, the problem with description is that it is not a it's not something that no, wait, what am I doing? It's not a required field. So I basically cannot do, I mean, I cannot. I mean, I can. I can do something like this, right? Okay, and my dummy correlation ID description, it's visible. Like, maybe let's make it bigger. Sorry, forgot. So it's rendered, but what if I, where is it? What if I don't provide it? Right? It's not rendered, but have a look on this div element. Oh, it was P, yeah. So the value, if value is not provided in this paragraph, there's no undefined or whatsoever. But I mean, that's not nice when you have some leftovers of HTML. I mean, I don't think it's a good practice. So how can we solve it? How can we solve it? The model gives you additional function, which is called has description, and returns Boolean. So you can basically have a condition like if something is present, then only then do it. Wait. Wait, let me structure it. Div, span div. Okay, so we basically have to have a condition here that this paragraph, it's gonna be rendered only if the correlation ID has a description. Whoa. So that's how you do it. Copy paste. Wait. Has test Ption. So if it has description, then render description. As simple as that. Let's render. Okay, description is visible. Now when I comment out the description, wait, why not adding it? Like it's stupid that I have to comment it out all the time. Dummy info, what object, what messages do we use? Yeah, dummy info is here. So good for dummy. And here it's gonna be for for dummy created whatever yeah, dot, and here for dummy info, message header. Do we have any headers here? Okay, we have trades, common headers. Let's go to trades, common headers. Okay, we have it. All good. Oh, come on. I don't want to have description in this dummy info, of course, because I want to have an example of correlation ID with and without the description. So it was a pointless waste of time. Okay, so now in the file I have like, yeah, let's just start. Refresh. So correlation ID for dummy, or maybe just scroll to messages section. Okay, so dummy message, correlation ID with description checked. Dummy info, correlation ID without the description checked. And do we see any empty paragraph? No, we don't. Which is cool. So we're basically done here. So we have what we need. And it's done. So that's how it could be. It could be solved to add, no, not this one, to display the correlation ID. And I can see we're actually it's after 7. So that would be it from my side. Antoinette, any questions before we finish? Okay, no questions. Okay, thanks, man. So hear you on the next live on Tuesday, 10 a.m. my time, 8 a.m. UTC. Or is it already a time change? Thanks, man. I think it's a time change on this weekend, right? '25th of October. Yeah, this weekend. We're switching. This weekend from like Saturday to Sunday, the night. On Sunday, we switch time. So we are, I think, like it's gonna be, instead of 10, it's gonna be 9 a.m. So on Tuesday, we have a live stream at 8 a.m. UTC and 9 a.m. CET. Yeah. Anyway, see y'all.